Welcome to Still on the Air. I am your host, David Pierce Anderson, and thankfully joined by Jackson back from the dead Touchberry. Jackson, welcome. And I say that because of last week.
Okay.
I know, but keep going.
You already know. What am I going to say?
I don't know.
I was going to say that I think you were suffering a lot more than I was, at least the way you were acting.
Very much true.
But I am back from the dead.
No. I was very curious to see how you would react to the Peppers. If you don't know, if you haven't seen the episode, go back and watch it on ETV at EMU. But I was dying. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It was very painful.
I got to give you credit, though, because the Dave's Gourmet hot sauce, I was scared because Kevin Stewart, our floor director today, he was telling me about people burning holes in their stomachs, and I was nervous, so that's why we scraped the lid the first time.
Right.
And then that wasn't enough. So the second time, you took a hefty slop of hot sauce and just right on your tongue.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Made that sound and everything.
And I was licking around it. You took it like a champ. And I was still dying more than
Well,
you.
okay, I think licking around it's going to make it worse in the long run, but
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed. But I started using it because now I got a whole bottle of ghost pepper sauce.
And then it's got your name on it.
And right, so it was bound, it was made to be. But I have to use it now, and so I started putting it on chicken, and it was tasting good, but it wasn't like overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
I got cocky last night, and some of it dripped down the bottle, and I, with my finger, and instant face explosion.
Right back.
Dude,
Flashbacks.
it was bad, man. That was really bad. But we made it out alive, and it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Glad we could do it. Well, now that that's out of the way,
Pleasantries are over.
pleasantries are over. Let's get down to business. It's time for our favorite part of the show, and that's the non-sponsor segment. This, of course, is the part where we showcase a sponsor who in no way whatsoever is associated with us or gives us money. Today's non-sponsor is the Remus Lupin Funko Pop figure. Wielding his mighty wand and wearing a suit that only he could pop with his swagger, this figure is the spitting image of class. You will also notice the very detailed and elaborate scars etched across his face. Such texture, so detail, just an absolute work of beauty. So add a little magic to your line with this tremendous Remus Lupin Funko Pop.
They really should sponsor us. I mean,
I know at this point. This is out of my collection. I was really excited to find this at Barnes & Noble. I think it's actually the last Funko I got, but it's my favorite Harry Potter character. And the connection I have for Remus Lupin being our sponsor on this show, non-sponsor, is Gary Oldman won Best Actor at the Oscars on Sunday. Gary Oldman played Sirius Black in Harry Potter. Sirius Black and Remus Lupin are best friends. So boom.
what a connection.
It all comes back.
It all comes back.
Stop doubting me, Jackson. I know. Anyway, speaking of the Oscars, I'm glad you brought that up. They wrapped up on Sunday, and despite all the awards given out, it was a pretty uneventful evening. We went from last year's fiasco with the Best Picture, which turned out to be one of the most shocking moments on live television ever, to a fairly successful evening. Boring! PricewaterhouseCoopers and their accountants, of course, gave Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway the wrong envelope last year, resulting in La La Land coming up and winning and immediately having their award stripped away. Overall, Pricewaterhouse was basically saying this year that they're going to ensure that this doesn't happen again. I would hope so. But how many accountants does it take to hand off an envelope? They set out for a goal this year, and that goal was do your dang job. Congratulations, PricewaterhouseCoopers. You're the real winners. You remember that from last year?
I didn't watch it last year. I didn't watch it this year either. But I remember hearing about it, and I was like, what? Yeah, so that was...
Have you seen the replay of it?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
actually.
It's pretty outrageous. That was an amazing moment, and I was typing up stories because we had our Oscars React show the next day on Still on the Air.
Right.
And I was typing up the story about La La Land winning as they're handing it off, and I'm like, delete. It was quite a moment in history. But yeah, this one was uneventful, and this Sunday's Oscars marked one of the lowest ratings in Oscars history, and that's how uneventful it was.
Yeah.
A steep 20% drop in viewers for the 4-hour broadcast has many asking, where have the viewers gone? Personally, I think the way to bring more people is to talk about politics more. Please don't do that. However, it is an incredibly too long, and that needs to change. It seemed like after every commercial break, the Oscars had some kind of montage of movies. In other words, a little self-pleasure. But there were countless moments of, wow, look at all these movies and how great they were. It was kind of weird, but 90 years is pretty amazing for the Oscars. And it is, but why not wait 10 more years for the 100th anniversary? Countless times throughout the evening I was asking, what are they going to do in 10 years? And basically, what it could be. What else can you get better from this 90 montage that they did? My guess is that the only thing that will be different about those montages for the 100th anniversary is that they'll have a decade more of movies to showcase.
I think that's a pretty safe guess.
It is.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Well, I don't know. So they're complaining about how long it was.
It is, yeah, it's long.
It's in 4 hours, and they just play these 10-minute montages of like Rocky, segueing lines into Star Wars and Citizen Kane, and I don't know. I don't get it. That's where you just cut that out.
Yeah, I think they can trim some stuff out, but
Yeah.
I don't know what, because I don't watch them.
We'll get you on next year. We'll get you watching next year.
Okay.
All right. In other news, the Brighton Cheese Festival in the United Kingdom had the unthinkable happen. Jackson, what do you think the unthinkable is?
They had too much cheese?
That's actually the opposite of what happened. They ran out of cheese.
What?
I know. Customers paid £22 for a ticket as they expected to gain 22 pounds in cheese after trying from all the vendors. People tweeted out saying that there were only about 10 vendors there with different cheeses. And I know places that serve omelets with more cheese, so that's shocking. At least there was still craft beer to try. Actually, one internet user said that it was just Bud Light and Stella. So, very craft beer. Keep up the good work, Brighton.
Wow, England has rioted for so much less.
Yeah, I know. And we got more English stories, actually.
There's more?
There's more, but wait, there's more. And it doesn't get any better. Great Yarmouth Charter Academy has banned the Meet Me at McDonald's haircut. All right, so here's what that style looks like because I was kind of surprised.
Wait, what?
That's the Meet Me at McDonald's haircut, and that's not allowed at their school. And I don't know where the inspiration came from for such a name, but he does look like the kind of guy that would say, hey, babe, want to see a good time? Meet me at McDonald's.
That must be it.
That's got to be it.
Does anyone else know where that?
I don't know where that saying came from. It came out of nowhere. Basically, it's just a perm with the sides shaved. And I don't get why the school needed to ban that, but they've had multiple hairstyles banned, including this style, which we're going to show. But not Justin Bieber himself, but this is described as the overgrown, heavy brushed forward to his face.
Or a lip bite, though.
Yeah, and a lip bite. And then this is another one that they banned, described as hair that is teased. We'll get that up. Yeah, actually, you can just show me because it's hair that is teased to excessive height. That haircut's banned, and I take that as a personal attack. Screw you, Great Yarmouth. More like bad Yarmouth. I would not be allowed at that school.
Your hair looked exactly like that Barbie doll.
It's a Ken doll.
What's the brand?
Fine. Right. One more about the English. Firefighters had to rescue a man after he got his genitals stuck in a ring spanner similar to this one. I guess he didn't fully understand what it meant to tighten your nuts. Granted, it's a hard concept to wrap your head around. What? How you doing? How you doing, Jackson? You doing all right? You doing all right? Did you feel that one?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's brutal. And so we're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it that is brutal.
Surprising no one.
This weather is brutal.
Yeah. Almost
Speaking
as
of brutal.
brutal as getting your
Getting your-
nuts stuck in a, in a wrench
In
thing.
a wrench.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But It's going to be a good show today. We have a returning face, a familiar face, we should say. Sarah Potoracki will be back. That's still on the air. Yeah, you didn't know about that?
What?
Yeah, Sarah Potoracki will be back, and she's going to talk about a lot of things, but specifically the upcoming play department, Holes. It's going to be a good time. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Addicted to Facebook. I'm always on it. I was checking on my feeds one day when I noticed an ad to test and keep an iPad. So I clicked the link. All I needed to give it was my contact info. You know, home address, email address, cell phone number. Seems pretty easy to get a free iPad. A week goes by and I never get a new iPad. And I noticed I was getting hundreds of text ads on my phone. Because of all the extra text messages sent to my phone, my bill went up $10. Yeah. I wasn't getting a free iPad. They were just fishing for my phone number to sell to advertisers. I know there are legitimate ads on Facebook, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. My name is Nate, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
We are True EMU! Let me show you love. Love is what I know. Join me in this life, beautiful soul. Everything you need, everything you want, you have it right here, my beautiful soul. We are True EMU!
I am True EMU.
We are True EMU!
Welcome back to Still on the Air. It's a Still on the Air reunion, actually.
Oh my God.
Dating back to our first show. Sarah Potoracki, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's beautiful to be back in this chair, this time with longer hair and better eyebrows.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, we should show
Oh, no.
some of the images from our first episode ever. And it's funny because we were all back. Yeah, I know. We were actually all on this episode. So there it is. That was our old school setup. We had that L-shaped desk, which I was not a fan of. Might have a couple. There's another one.
What am I doing with my hand?
What are any of us doing with our hands? And then one more, because Jackson was actually our guest on the first ever Still on the Air episode. And there he is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What
Talking
a
to
scrappy
us.
young lad.
Yeah.
I changed the least. And that's unfortunate.
Oh no.
No, you've changed. For the
Okay.
better.
Okay.
You changed your clothes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm wearing something else.
It was about time.
Aren't
too.
we all?
No, but we're glad to have you, Sarah. And thankfully, you found a moment out of your busy schedule
Yes.
to slot us in here. You're doing a lot. What are you up to right now?
Mostly Holes right now, honestly. So Holes, most of the productions with EMU Theater have a little bit more time to them, but they're trying to put Holes up in about 3 or 4 weeks. So we are just hitting the ground running with it.
So they started production, and they're trying to get that from first day of production to first show in 3 weeks?
We had our first rehearsal the week before break. We rehearsed then, we rehearsed this past week, we're rehearsing this week, and then we're in tech.
Wow. So how often, and because you're photography for theater, videography?
Yeah,
a little bit
photography,
of both.
videography.
How often you're around it, so how often do they actually, how much time, I should say, do they have to get ready for a show?
Usually I've found it's twice what we have. I couldn't give you an exact number because I'm usually
A little over a month, though.
not in the shows,
Right.
yeah. It's far more time than we have now.
What have you noticed in terms of stress
Well-
and anxiety from everyone else?
That's the thing, is this show is so much larger than a normal cast.
How big is it?
I think 25
Wow.
cast members.
Wow.
Yeah, it is
Goodness.
gigantic.
Where do you find
And,
that many people?
I believe we actually had to be like, please show up, please come to auditions because we have a lot of holes to fill. Haha.
That was well done. It is Holes, if we didn't mention.
Yeah.
But so talk a little bit about being on the other side of it, because you do the videography and all that. What's it like being in the production?
It's pretty wild. So I did theater in high school, and then coming here, basically stepped entirely back from it. But my theater experience in high school was very different from college theater. And being on the periphery when I was doing videography, it was like, wow, that looks like chaos. Cool. Glad I have my own thing to do. And then I finally got back into it, and I'm realizing it's a really tight-knit community, but it's also just a lot of work. And I don't think people give enough credit to people who are on stage and behind the scenes.
So, I'm a big fan of Holes,
Are you?
the book and the movie. So, who do you play?
I'm the warden. So I'm in the movie, Louise, I believe is her name, Louise Walker. but they're very different characters between the movie, the book, and the play.
So
Yeah, well, what do you have? You don't get to ask many questions, so I'll let you have this one.
Thanks. What do you like about your character?
Christine Tanner, the director, is going with a different route with my character, and she's having me actually play her far scarier and far more violent. So that was a big shock when I came in. She's like, "Yeah, I want you with your tiny body and your little voice to just be the scariest thing on that stage."
So she typecast you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How,
Well,
I
I'm-
mean, how is that? Do you usually play that kind of a character, or is it different for you?
This is my first time playing an antagonist role, and I'm actually, there's like 3 bad guys at Camp Green Lake, and I'm next to 2 very tall, very large men. So
Yeah.
I really have to
Oh.
try and play up with my face and my body that I'm the scary one.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a learning experience for sure.
You mentioned you haven't acted in theater in a while.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like getting back into the game?
So theater is so much more like grand in terms of how you act, and then I got back into film where I got used to subtleties, and now getting back on stage, I've gotten yelled at a few times because Christine's like, you're being so small with your gestures, and you're being so quiet with your voice. I'm like, this is just what I'm used to. So I've had to get used to projecting again and being bigger in everything.
And you talk about Christine. She had you go off book for your tryout, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what that situation, what happened there.
So for auditions, 5 minutes before auditions ended, someone in the office was like, "You should go do that," and I was like, "No." So I was there at
They
auditions.
convinced you to audition?
They put the idea in my head with 5 minutes left.
Wow.
I showed up and walked into the room with 1 minute left, and I read a monologue I had picked off the table. I did okay, and then Christine goes, "All right, walk into the room and find lipstick." And I was like, what? And she's like, just be happy, but like not too happy, you know? Be like subtle. So I walked in the room and I'm like, lipstick, what? Butchered it.
Well, it's surprising that she tells you to be subtle in the tryouts, and now she's like, more!
I can't remember her exact words,
Yeah.
but she was like, not too much, but like give us some like good emoting.
So she had you improv in the scene. Well, I mean, don't scoff at that, because you've been a part of
I'm improv
lame-
comedy though, so to do something that was more straight improv,
What's the difference? What was-
Oh, it's bad.
challenge,
Yeah.
it's a very big difference, because it was like, I'm so used to being like, ha ha, look, random dog, and this time it was like, I'm scary and I found lipstick and I'm angry or something. Like, I completely forgot at what point that came. So I was really surprised when I got the call back, honestly.
I mean, apparently something went right.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the shows. That's next weekend,
Yes.
correct?
March 16th, Friday, March 16th at 7 p.m., Saturday, March 17th at 7 p.m., and then Sunday, March 18th at 2 p.m. And they're selling out fast.
Okay. Where can we get tickets? We got a little bit more time for more questions, but
Yeah.
as for now, where can we get the tickets?
You can get your tickets from emutix.com, or the Quirk box office opens, I believe, on March 12th. So you can get those there as well.
Sounds good. And getting back in theater, because we know a few theater people. We've heard the stories. Has there been any crazy stories with this Holes production? Because trying to just jam it all into 3 weeks is difficult.
Well, a lot of our cast are like first-time actors. So I think the crazy thing was being told, like, that first Monday we came back, they're like, yeah, you are off book. And that was at first a struggle. Not too much of a scary, like a shocking story, but more of just like, wow, this was not a lot of time. We've had, there was like, we're using shovels, so there's some danger there. So we had a minor skirmish last night, but everyone's fine. Everyone's good.
Everyone made it out alive. Well,
Yes.
that's always good to hear. And you were mentioning it really briefly before the show. You're trying to get Shia LaBeouf to come to the show.
Yeah, so we have a few cast members. We make jokes about like the Dig It song from Holes that they all rap, and the Shia LaBeouf song, the Rob Cantor one. And last night we were playing it, and one of the cast members was like, "Oh my gosh, if we tweet at Shia LaBeouf enough, maybe he'll come see our show." And we all were like, "Yes, definitely, of course. If we tweet at Shia LaBeouf, he will come to Ypsilanti, Michigan, and see our show." So we tried.
Why not? I mean, and I heard it got a little bit of love.
Yeah, there's like 25 retweets going on right now.
I'll try to find it,
Okay.
and we'll pump it some more. And Shia LaBeouf, I know you're watching.
Yeah.
please come to the show. We'd love to have you. And we'd love to have you on this show, too, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want. Yeah, we'd like to interview. So, do you have any more theater in the future? Do you plan? I mean, I know you're a film girl, but
Yeah.
do you plan on doing more theater?
This has given me the bug again,
Ooh.
and I was really trying to stay away from it because I'm someone who doesn't have the time to have rehearsals every single night because I've had to sacrifice everything else. But starting to think I might make it back on the stage again.
Ooh, that's exciting. Which do you prefer? And it could be just film or theater, but film acting or theater acting.
There's a pro and there's pros to each. In film, I really like that because I'm used to that acting style more, and I like that if I fail, I can just be like, let's redo that, please. That was atrocious. But what I like about stage is that you get to spend pretty much every single night with these people, and you develop a really great relationship with them. So I've made so many friends in this cast.
I think the live performance aspect of it too is some kind of a draw to it.
Yeah,
No?
it's wild at times because there'll be times. I think last night I was supposed to yell this line, and it was supposed to be like this really grand moment, and I was like, nah, and I could not remember it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. Thanks for coming on
Thank you
the
for
show.
having me.
We are going to be back, and we're going to do a little throwback to our first episode. We're going to play the same game. It's called Couples Therapy. It's a little bit of an improv game. We haven't done it. I don't think we've done it since last year's episode, but it's going to be a good time. You're going to want to see it. Stay tuned.
In this day and age of compromised accounts and data breaches, having a strong password is not enough to keep you and your personal information safe. Someone who steals your password could gain access to all your data with nothing to stop them. The Eagle Security Package offers Duo, a tool that provides an additional layer of security to your online accounts through two-factor authentication. This means Duo not only uses something you know, your password, but also something you have access to, such as your mobile device. Duo's two-factor authentication gives you the power to keep your data safe, even if your password is lost. Once Duo is set up, you can access protected sites with your login credentials like you normally would, but it will now be preceded by a message sent to your mobile device prompting you to accept or deny the login. If it's you who logged in, hit the green button to accept it, but if it's not you, hit the red button to deny it. By doing so, this extra step will take a forefront stance at protecting your online accounts from being compromised or breached, and you'll know right away if an attempt was made. For more information about Duo, please visit tiny.emich.edu/Duo.
Welcome back to Still on the Air. Like I mentioned, we're going to have a little bit of a throwback to our first episode last year, first ever episode of Still on the Air. We played a game called Couples Therapy, and what that game is there's a therapist, that's myself, and the couple. It could be roommate therapy because we actually have a couple of roommates here. But yeah, and they were roommates.
What?
Oh my God, they were roommates. Anyway, I'm going to step out of the room for a moment. We are going to get two characters or just crazy traits for Jackson and Sarah. I'm going to come back in the room. I'm going to act as a therapist, and I'm going to try to guess their traits. So, saw you guys for a moment, and I think
lost.
Kevin or something is going to give our little
Do you wanna
things. Yeah.
do you wanna like fight like as former co-host to present co-host?
How the tables turn.
How the turntables.
So, I do everything twice. I do everything twice?
Okay. What about me? Anything? The door's not closed. Hi, Dave.
Oh, he's plugging his ears.
Okay. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So, I do everything twice. I do everything twice.
I can't turn the TV off because I keep watching food.
Food.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Thank you both for coming in today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks
Well,
for
thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming in today, and thank you for coming in today. Good to see you both. So, I heard that you don't like the fact that she leaves her dishes all over the counter. Why does that aggravate you?
Well, I just don't think that I should have to clean the dishes. I just don't think I should have to clean the dishes.
But what do you think about the dishes?
I think the dishes are dirty.
Okay.
The dishes are dirty.
And what's your name again?
What?
Okay, so why do you dirty the dishes?
I just have so much to practice, okay? Like, we don't have enough dishes in our apartment to like handle how much I just need to sit and practice what I need to learn, because it's like there's so many options out in this world, and I just keep watching, and it's
She has a problem.
I agree.
She has a problem.
I
you
agree.
have a problem too.
Me?
Yeah.
Whoa, guys,
Me?
guys, please. There's a give and take here. What something he does? What don't you like something he does?
I mean, I feel like every time I say something to him, he like doesn't listen, because he just keeps saying things back at me.
I always listen.
Do you?
I always listen.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool. This is the horrible communication here.
I think he always listens.
Like, do you think that I just can't hear well?
I think you're focused on something else.
And what,
I think you're focused on something else.
Okay, okay.
and what might you think that something else is?
Well, look at her.
I have been for a little bit.
Well,
and-
look at her.
Okay, I have been. And what? I think, I don't remember your name. Can you pay attention a little bit over here, please, lady?
Do we have any noodles at home?
Yes, we have noodles at home.
Awesome. What was your question?
Yes, we have noodles at home.
I don't remember what my question was. You guys are a mess.
I have to watch. I have to have the earplugs in, because how else am I supposed to tune out the incessant, just him speaking constantly?
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes it's okay to tune out. You don't always have to be on, but do you not like hearing him?
Not when everything has to be said a million times to me. I feel like he just doesn't think I can comprehend.
Not a million.
And we understand that.
Not a million.
Can I please finish? We understand that he listens, but do you listen?
To my shows. I'm done listening at this point.
Well, I think, how badly do you guys want this?
She is always hungry for those shows.
That's fair.
She's always hungry for those shows.
Listen, buddy. You double talker. You got to repeat everything. Yes, you got to repeat everything. I think that's a big problem in this relationship. And you being so focused on your cooking shows. Oh, really?
Yep.
I think you can. You might be able to use that. You eat up what he's saying, and then that'll be a good compromise.
How's
I
she gonna
don't-
eat my words?
I don't like
What?
second
How's she
helpings.
gonna eat my words?
I don't have all the answers. That's my first idea. We'll be back after the break.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Thanks for coming on. It's still on the air. I am David Pierce Anderson. We thank you for coming on. We thank Sarah Potoracki for taking a moment out of her busy schedule
Thank you.
to come by and plug holes. Everybody go see it next weekend, 16th through the 18th. Yeah?
Plug holes.
Plug holes.
Plug
Come
holes.
plug holes.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully you guys work out your roommate situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully That works out well. Check all of our stuff out. Sarah's on EMU Today and eWeekly. Check us out, and still on the air, on ETV at EMU on all the social media platforms, as well as cable channel 18. Anyway, that's all for this week. I'm David Pierce Anderson, Jackson Touchberry, Sarah Poderacki. As always, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.